Welcome to W&L Sports Weekly. I'm Jeremy Franklin. This week we'll speak with football captain Patrick Wright and women's cross-country runner Rachel Steffen. But first, a quick look back at the weekend in Washington in Lay athletics. The men's and women's cross-country teams both claimed ODAC titles at the conference meet at Bridgewater. For the women, it's their first title since 2012, while the men broke an 8-year drought. Field hockey clinched the top spot in the ODAC tournament with a 1-0 home victory over Bridgewater, and men's soccer closed out an unbeaten regular season run through the conference by beating Roanoke 1-0. Volleyball dropped 3 matches at the Emory Invitational in Atlanta, losing in straight sets to number 17 Clarkson, Barry, and top-ranked Juniata, while Riding tied for 6th at Bridgewater. And the football team improved to 8-0 with a 42-14 road win over Emory and Henry. I'm joined now by Patrick Wright, senior football captain from Tampa, Florida. Patrick, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Jeremy.
The Generals opened up ODAC play with 3 straight one-possession wins, but you've had lopsided victories over Emory and Henry, and right before that, Bridgewater. Do you feel like the Generals are playing their best football of the year?
Yes, I think the past 6 quarters, the defense has played extremely well. We've only given up 14 points or something like that. And so when you have the defense playing as well as we are, with an offense rushing for 500 yards a game, it makes it pretty tough to stop. So I think the past 2 games have been the first couple times where we've had a complete 4-quarter team win, which has been great, because in other games we've struggled to we've had the lead and then have kind of let the other team come back in. So I think just we've been playing really solid for 4 quarters, and that's really helped us get some good wins.
On paper, the Generals' 3-man defensive front is undersized, and yet you're routinely able to put pressure on opposing quarterbacks. What makes W&L so effective up front?
I think it's definitely, Coach Abel actually said, one of the coaches, well, the other coaches in the ODAC commented that our team is very physical and we have a lot of speed. And so I think, at least on the D-line, that's probably been our biggest advantage, is that we're small, but we hit pretty hard and we're not afraid to get off the ball and hit a 300-pound guy, and also we're pretty fast, and we can cover a lot of ground when we need to, and so just having those 2 advantages, I think maybe an offensive lineman might underestimate us when they see us on film, and I think it's usually fun to surprise them during the game, and to have them see a 215-pound nose guard, but still able to get after the quarterback is always fun.
How rewarding has this year been for you and your fellow seniors?
It's been incredible, especially after last year. Having to pay, a 2-8 season was really hard, and we went to the ODAC's freshman year and we won. And I think as a senior class, we always thought to ourselves that we'd really want to get back to that spot. And then after 2 years of kind of a 5-5 and a 2-8 season, it was pretty disappointing. But we came back in the off season and worked really hard. And then in the preseason, the coaches really pushed us, and I think we really came together as a team. So it's been awesome to see kind of the hard work we've put in really pay off. And it's really made us grow a lot closer as a senior class. That's been the biggest thing, is just growing closer, and because I'll always remember the relationships I have with those seniors, and that's been really important. So just seeing the hard work we've put in pay off has been awesome.
Your last 2 opponents, Catholic and Shenandoah, are currently 1-4 in the conference, but they've had some close calls against some of the teams higher up in the standings. How important is it to stay focused as you pursue that conference title and an unbeaten season? Yeah,
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. When I saw that Catholic put up that 50 points or 40 points or something like that against Guilford, I kind of made me realize that any team can really give any other team a run for their money. And just because their record is 1-4, that doesn't mean that they're a bad team. They could easily be 4-1 in conference play. They've had some pretty close games. So I think just realizing that anybody can beat anybody, and you're never, we're not good enough to where we can just go out there and get a win. Like we have to really fight for it. And I think last year losing to Catholic in a game we should have won is really going to put a chip on our shoulder for this game. So I think that will definitely motivate us to go out there and get after it.
Patrick, thanks for joining us. Best of luck the rest of the way.
Thanks, Jeremy.
With me in the studio is Rachel Steffen, sophomore cross-country athlete from Coronado, California. Rachel, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
How did everything come together for the Generals at the ODAC Championship on Saturday?
Saturday was really a culmination of everything we've been working towards all season. We had a race strategy and we went out there and everybody executed it beautifully. We had a couple amazing key performances from people like Lily Arnold that really helped us out, and it was an awesome race. Everybody did very well.
You were the top finisher for W&L at both the ODAC and regional meets as a first year in 2014. How did that experience help you this fall?
Well, last year I was 4 spots away from qualifying for the national championship, so I was pretty upset about that and kind of came into the season with a sense of vengeance. And I think that's kind of motivated me to keep pushing myself and to work twice as hard as last year so I don't fall short this year.
W&L won the South-Southeast Regional Preview at Shenandoah back in mid-October. You were part of a top 3 sweep for the Generals at that event. The actual postseason regional will be much deeper, much more competitive field, but how does that experience from earlier in the year help you prepare?
The course itself is very challenging. There's a lot of hills and kind of hidden turns and changes in terrain. So it's a course that requires a lot of strategy. So because it requires a lot of strategy, being able to see the course is definitely going to help us out. And because there's a lot of teams there that are very good but haven't seen the course, that gives us an advantage over them.
All 5 of Washington and Lee's point scorers at the ODAC meet were first years and sophomores. What does that tell you about the team's prospects over the next few years?
Because we have such a young team, it really shows the incredible amount of potential we have. In the ODAC itself, the other teams are going to lose a lot of really talented upperclassmen in the next 2 years, and we get to just keep building on the talent that we already have, which is going to prove as a huge advantage in the future.
Rachel, thank you for joining us here. Good luck at the regional meet next weekend.
Thank you very much.
To get the latest scores and schedules during this ODAC tournament week, please visit generalsports.com. For W&L Sports Weekly, I'm Jeremy Franklin. Thanks for watching.